Jingliang versus Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos is on the co-main event of UFC Fight Night Shenzhen China Andrade versus Zhang Fight Night 157. It's a great fight to be a co-main event. I'll be honest with you guys, this is a good one. Jingliang has put together a bit of a streak at 170 of 2 fights in a row. However, he's been looking pretty impressive before then. I mean, he's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's won 6 out of his last 7. That's very fucking impressive at welterweight, especially knowing how stacked it is. And then you look at Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos, and he's won all of his last 7 in a row, and his only loss was a split decision to Nicolas Dalby in his UFC debut. Since then, he went on a massive streak of 7 fights in a row. I'm on the Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos kind of hype train. I do feel like at the top of the game, he will get figured out by some guys. But for now, I'm impressed by Elizeu Zaleski. I'm just going to call him Dos Santos for now, okay? I'm impressed by Zaleski. I really am. 7 fights in a row at welterweight against... Listen, I said this in my full fight breakdown video. If someone doesn't speak English, please look into their record. If they're just in the rankings or just outside the rankings, I beg of you look into their records, because there's a bunch of guys floating around. But because they're not marketable by the UFC, they don't get their rise up the division. Okay? And it happens at like welterweight below. There's a lot of guys with sick records. Like we just saw it. Jose Alberto Quinones was on a 4-fight win streak at bantamweight before he fought Nathaniel Wood. He lost, but 4-fight win streak at bantamweight, and no one's heard about him. No semi-casual has heard about him. Only the hardcore guys knew. And I feel like that's what the UFC does. They don't raise them up the same as they do the English speakers. You know, because it doesn't attract their market, which is understandable. But when you see a guy that doesn't speak English, please look into his record. Because Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos is a beast. Okay, he beat Curtis Millender in his last fight. He has a couple other good wins on his record as well. In Curtis Millender, Sean Strickland, Max Griffin has been doing good recently. Lyman good. I mean, he lost to Damian Maia, but before that he was doing well. Knocked out Ben Saunders, I seem to remember. Omari Akhmedov's fighting on UFC 242. I mean, Zaleski dos Santos has great wins. Great wins, and he's fucking spinning wheel kicking people for KOs. He's a savage. And I think if he wins here, he's going to get a fight with Santiago Ponzinibbio. And maybe if Jingliang or Jingliang Li, which it seems to be saying here, might get a win, might get a big shot against Santiago Ponzinibbio as well. Both guys are savages. I do feel like Dos Santos will get this one done. I feel like he's a little bit too explosive. And I feel like Jingliang Li, although he's a great fighter, a little bit hesitant at times. You know, I feel like Zaleski dos Santos is going to be the more explosive guy. The guy that pushes the pace a little bit more. I think he's going to win the first 2. And then I think the drowning style of Jingliang might get in his face a little bit in the third. But it will be 2-1 on rounds to Zaleski dos Santos. And I think it's going to be a great... I think this might be fight of the night. It's either Kai Kara France versus Mark De La Rosa, or this fight here are for sure going to be fight of the night, in my opinion. And they're great ones, okay? I feel like Zaleski dos Santos has it in him. I'm sure the UFC kind of wants Jingliang to win, because he is in China. He's in his home country. It'd be great for the Chinese fans if all of their guys won tonight. It would be great for the Chinese fans. However, I feel like Zaleski's going to get it done. I don't know how, but I think he's going to get it done. I don't see him knocking out Jingliang. I don't see that happening. However, I do see him winning a clear-cut decision. And I do see him beating up Jingliang quite heavily in the fight as well. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for Jingliang. However, he can do it. Trust me, he can do it, but, you know, I just don't see it. I feel like Zaleski dos Santos, honestly, could easily be deep in the top 10. Maybe number 7, number 8. I feel like the guys at the top, like a Colby and Usman. I mean, you're talking about different beasts. Leon Edwards. Guys like that, you know. Masvidal's hard to judge because, I mean, Masvidal's hard to judge, alright, where he really is in the division. Because if you play that Ben Askren fight again, who knows how it will go. So there's still some unknowns about Masvidal that we're yet to learn. If he dominates Nate Diaz, I think he'll solidify it a little bit, but there's still unknowns there with Masvidal. But I still think Masvidal would beat Zaleski dos Santos. It'd be a tough fight, but I think he would win. But yeah, I feel like Zaleski dos Santos is a beast. And guys at welterweight better watch out. Don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him because he's fast His nickname's Capoeira, and he throws a bunch of shit to go with that nickname. Li Jingliang's name is the Leech. He suffocates you. He takes stuff out of you. It means something as well. I like it when nicknames mean something. You know what I'm saying? I don't like shitty fucking silent assassin nicknames that are like, what, are you fucking 12 years old? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean anything to me. I do feel like Dos Santos gets this win. Another Dos Santos. Fuck me. Brazilians are just not creative with their surnames whatsoever. The amount of Dos Santoses and Silvas. Like, come up with something. You know, like, it's not hard to come up with surnames. You've come up with all these first names that are slightly different. Including stealing American ones like Johnny and fucking Anderson. So, surely you can be a little bit creative with the surnames as well. But either way, it looks like we're going to be seeing a fucking ZDS instead of JDS now. I think he's going to make a run, but I think he will be halted at the top. 32 years old. He's been held back by his non-English speaking, which is unfair. But as a promoter, it kind of makes sense. Yeah. I think he loses. I'll be honest with you guys. I do think he loses. I mean, I think he loses against top 10 guys. I do think he beats Li Jingliang, though. And I do think he'll have a good fight for Ponzinibbio. I also think Ponzinibbio would beat him, though. Tough ones. It's welterweight division, man. Tough fucking division, I tell you. Tough division to do well in. You have to be a real fucking savage to rise through those ranks without taking a big loss. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See you later. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Click that button there. Goodbye.